That was a close call, huh, Goosey? Huh? Those bad guys still in there somewhere. Oh, motherfucking!
You okay?
Yeah, it's just a scratch.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Guys, as a superhero movie fan and a cartoon nerd and an all-round lover of everything to do with superheroes, it pains me to say that Marvel is most certainly dying.
Oh no! Anyway, last week...
Now, there's a number of reasons we can cite for this now seemingly inevitable death, but I think the most common answer you will hear when you ask lovely people on Twitter would be the unnecessary focus on diversity and inclusion, or in other words, wokeness put the final nail in the coffin. In today's video, we're going to be discussing whether or not this is true, and we're going to do this by examining two characters whose introductions to the big screen have had two very different receptions, and that's Captain Marvel and Miles Morales. But before we get into the video, make sure you like, subscribe, and press the bell notification so you wastemen don't ever miss a video. Please. It really helps. Hey Jason!
Yeah?
Come talk about Captain Marvel.
So it's been a while since you've seen my face, and I can tell you an elaborate story as to where I've been, what I've been doing, yada yada yada, but it doesn't matter. What does matter is the current state that Marvel is in. I mean, Captain Marvel, what can I say about her that hasn't already been said? She sucks.
Fam, you're sounding hella biased.
I never said I wouldn't be, but since y'all so nicely, let's go into a bit about her backstory. Carol Danvers was first introduced in 1968's Marvel Superheroes 13 by writer Thomas and artist Gene Coleman. She was initially a side character in the Captain Marvel story, but as time went on, Marvel Comics felt like they needed a new superhero, a female one, to lead. So what do you do when you need a new female character? You take a man, you turn him into a woman.
Put a chick in it, make her gay!
So after an incident following Marvel and Kree technology, Carol Danvers gains super speed, super strength, super agility, super stamina, flight, projection, invulnerability, energy absorption, danger sense, the power to make any man love her, and all sorts, so on and so forth. After gaining all of that, she joined the Avengers in the late 70s. Fast forward to 2018, with Marvel at the peak of its cinematic powers, they just released Infinity War, which had grossed over $2 billion. So you could see why at the end of this movie, they would show her in the post-credit scene to debut her film just between Infinity War and Endgame. And everything seemed to be falling perfectly just for Disney, but unfortunately, Kevin Feige had hired Brie Larson, the walking L. And just like her name implies, she's bland, she's very dead.
We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean...
So soon after this, videos started surfacing about the actress seemingly speaking negatively about the one demographic we're allowed to poo-poo on these days: middle-aged white men. The straw that broke the camel's back is that in an award ceremony, she said the following:
"We are expanding to make films that better reflect the people that buy movie tickets, but they are not allowed enough chances to read public discourse on these films by the people that these films were made for. I do not need a 40-year-old white dude to tell me what didn't work for him about A Wrinkle in Time. It wasn't made for him. I want to know what that film meant to women of color, to biracial women, to teen women of color, to teens that are biracial. And for the third time, I don't hate white dudes."
When you look at the overall criticism of what she's saying, it's not actually very crazy. She's essentially saying if a movie's made for young black women, then it makes sense that young black women would be the target audience for the film. But obviously she went about expressing this in a tactless, dumb, insensitive manner, which gave us a whole lot of kickback for her and the film that she was starring in. Especially in this instance, the majority of people going to watch this film were the same people she was pooing on: middle-aged white men. Despite all the hate she received, Captain Marvel still earned over $1.1 billion. But this was mostly because people of the mindset that this film would have been of the same caliber as Infinity War that just came out before it. The circumstances were perfect for the movie to succeed. But unfortunately, the same cannot be said about its sequel, The Marvels.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
As of this December, when this script is being written, it only has a box office of 83 million domestically and 200 million worldwide, which is terrible considering the film cost almost 300 million to make, and it's the lowest grossing Marvel cinematic film ever. It seems like Disney effed around with its audience by hiring an actress who leaned into woke talking points and alienated the key group of people who are going to watch this film anyway. And now they're finding out, if you go woke, you're going broke.
Monica, you gotta fly.
No.
Black girl magic.
Miles Morales was first introduced in Marvel's Ultimate Universe in 2011 after being created by Brian Michael Bendis and Sarah Pichelli. The creators spoke about how an African-American Spider-Man was necessary as we were living in a world where the black senator Barack Hussein Obama became president of the United States. The editor-in-chief thought it was time to take another look at some of their icons. Now, some of you might hear this and think, well, if these niggers based Miles Morales on President Babu Obama, it must be woke. And if the saying, go woke, go broke is true, then this venture into representation should have been a flaming failure. But somehow, Miles Morales just isn't that. Since his first appearance in the comics, Miles has appeared prominently across all Spider-Man media, being in the main cast of 2 Spider-Man cartoons edited in the last 8 years, being a playable character in now 3 different Spider-Man games, including his own game in 2020, and finally, headlining 2 movies which have now altogether grossed just over $1 billion, off a total budget of $190 million, with a trilogy capping 3rd movie set to be released in the coming year. Say whatever you want about the origins of the character, but this is an undeniable example of a successful rollout. Outside of Miles' powers, there isn't a major difference between him and Peter Parker in terms of what he brings to the table as a character. So why has the nerd community still made space for him?
Because he's black and he's cooler. No, I'm joking. Take that 10 out of it. I don't want these people to think I'm too serious.
Don't worry, man. I got you. It's calm. And no, I'm not saying there aren't people that complain about Miles. Miles Morales sucks. I'm a little late, but I don't like him. He's just not the real Spider-Man. He's black. That's the only thing. Blackwashing, progressive, woke. My only issue is that they killed off the best version of Spider-Man for him, and he just doesn't fit the bill. He's just Peter, but boring. Fuck Miles. Shit sucks. Oh, and some people say that Miles is Miles Morales, but Peter Parker is Spider-Man. But to be honest, these complaints don't really make sense. Yes, Miles Morales is Miles Morales, which is the same way that Peter Parker is Peter Parker. They just both happen to be Spider-Man, which Stan Lee, the creator, acknowledges and is fine with. So why can't you be?
Can I return it if it doesn't fit?
It always fits. Eventually.
So, why did Miles Morales become a shining example propped up on a pedestal for all to see when Captain Marvel was a shameful failure no one wants to talk about? The answer is obvious. It's misogyny.
Fool this man!
No, I'm joking, it's not misogyny, but it does have to do with the fact that she's a woman. Before we even saw Brie Larson don the blue and red spandex, Kevin Feige was out here telling us that she was the strongest character in the MCU. But like, bro, did you not see what my guy Thor was doing at the end of Infinity War? Had he aimed 2 inches higher, there would have been no need for Endgame. It would have been done. It would have been finished. Thanos would have gotten murked. But I'm expected to believe that this random character I have no experience with is stronger than that. Even in her first outing on the big screen, we keep being told that she's too emotional, that she needs to stop getting out of control. But there's never a point in the movie where we actually see her doing any of this. Whatever she attempts to do in the movie, she not only succeeds at it, she becomes the best at it with seemingly minimal effort. Carol joins the Air Force. She's the best! Carol enlists in the Kree army. She's the best! Carol becomes a space crime-fighting superhero.
I don't think you people understand. She's the best!
But we never see how she got there. What trials and tribulations did she go through? I don't want to just see a random 10-second compilation of her falling on a go-kart or her with a bit of mud on her. I want to experience the struggles with her because that's how I start to feel connection to the character. For whatever reason, Hollywood has decided that showing a female lead struggle is not what the public should see. Like, I don't care that I have to suspend disbelief when they show me a 45 kg slim woman effortlessly taking down a gang of grown men. But please let me see how she got there. How many times did she get her ass beat to be able to do this now? What strive did she go through to make her a stoic, non-emoting person? The real reason why Miles works is because we feel he deserves his position in the universe. We saw how crushed he felt after failing to save Peter from Fisk and not fulfilling his promise to destroy the Collider. We felt his pain as his dying uncle took his last breath in his arms because he was once again too weak to do anything. We stood there and watched how powerless he was in the games when his father had his back blown out by Mr. Negative.
Are you going to say pause?
As a viewer, we need to see these moments of disappointment from our characters because it makes moments like his What's Up Danger jump that much more impactful because we know what it's taken for him to get to this.
Like, what's up, danger? Like, what's up, danger?
Representation and diversity aren't the problem. We both grew up with shows like Static Shock, Proud Family and That's So Raven, which focused on diverse characters and told diverse stories, but they never fell into the trap of prioritizing diversity over telling a good story, which seems to be something every studio in Hollywood is doing nowadays. If we can find a way back to making well-written characters that happen to be diverse, instead of making diverse characters the priority and then thinking of how to write a half-assed story for them, superhero movies and cinema in general may actually be saved.
Anyone can wear the mask. You could wear the mask. If you didn't know that before, I hope you do now.
But guys, let us know what you think about the video. Is Miles Morales too woke?
Are we wrong about Carol Danvers?
Is she the best part of Marvel? Whatever you think, just comment down below. And yeah, just comment. It helps a lot.
Like, comment, subscribe, all of that. You know what to do.
Bell notification. That's the most important one. Do that, please. Thank you. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace.
Well, if these based
Hey, I'm adding this to the thing. I'm adding this to the end. That's a blooper. Oh,
Oh my